Hey guys, in this video I will show you my thought process in 3 different positions, one tactical sequence, a positional setup, and an endgame. In this video hopefully will show you how you can try to focus on the important ideas in a chess game. Sometimes as a beginner you can try to be too focused on certain ideas which don't work in the first place. So it's important to realize what is the right idea to think about. Hopefully this video can help you achieve that. Let's start with this position. This is a tactical sequence that can win you the game. In this position, black just played b6. The first thing I should do when looking at puzzles is try to see if there are any checkmating patterns, if there are any pieces you can take. This is a quite advanced puzzle. So in this puzzle you will notice that there aren't any checks, there isn't any way to mate your opponent immediately. However, there is a very certain and clear idea how to win the game here. The first thing you should notice here is this knight, which is on a very oddly placed square. One of the things you should notice is that it can't move back. This knight just simply doesn't have a way back. If there is somehow you can attack this knight, you can make sure to win it. However, g4 immediately doesn't work because the knight can go to f4 protected by the bishop, and now if you take, the bishop takes back and you are actually hanging a knight. So in order for you to realize what you should do in this position to win is you should try to get this bishop off the board. So you can go knight b7, which is an idea that is crucial in this position to win the game. The rook has to move, and as soon as the rook moves you can simply take the bishop. And after taking back, g4 actually does work, because now the knight can't go back, the knight can't go to f4 because it's protected by our bishop, and the knight can't go to g3 because it's protected by our pawns. So as soon as this position gets on the board, you are completely winning, and black is going to have a struggle in this game down the bishop, and you are going to make sure to win this game easy, step by step. And it's very important to realize certain ideas like this in the position. Knight traps are something to look out for, and other tactical sequences are important as well, but this is a quite advanced one which I wanted you to show. So yeah, on to the next one. In the second part of this video, I wanted to show you a more positional setup. The idea here for white is to play c4. There are two things c4 is trying to achieve. One is to open up this diagonal for the bishop. So let's say his knight goes back and you can go to b2 with your bishop. It opens up the diagonal, which is very strong. And another very important thing is that if you play anything else here, your opponent can play c4. And now you aren't allowed onto this diagonal with your bishop, and your opponent is looking to play knight c5 and maybe knight d3 into the future. So c4 is a very important move here, and a few moves later there's another very important move here, which is bishop e4, aligning your bishop onto the king side and trying to potentially start some kind of king side attack. And a few moves later we do actually see bishop b2. And another very important move, which is knight c1, trying to go knight b3 and chase this bishop away. This bishop is obviously trying to be very annoying here, and it also doesn't have a lot of backward squares to go to. So the idea here is to play knight b3 and take this bishop off the board, doubling his pawns and trying to get an open b file in the process, which are all very important positional ideas in this position. And yeah, now white does have a very big attack and can maybe deliver a checkmate in a few moves later, or at least get a favorable position. So the third part of this video I wanted to show an endgame in which there is a crucial idea here, which is the only idea that works for white. First thing you should notice here is that the b pawn from black is almost promoting, and my pawns are far off from promoting. So what do you want to do here? You want to analyze what is my idea. The idea is obviously to stop this pawn. So if I go here, for example, I can't stop the pawn because there's a rook still defending the pawn. So what you want to do here is get the rooks off the board. And the idea here is that this rook is covering all these squares and your king is covering these 3 squares. So when you go rook g4, you give a check, but you also disallow the king from coming down. So the king has to go onto the 5th rank. And as soon as it does, you can simply check and take the rook, go to c2 with your king. Now you are successfully stopping the b pawn, and black can't take the b pawn back. And if black goes to stop the pawns, you can notice that he is simply too late, and this is just winning for white. So yeah, the idea, you should get the correct idea in an endgame. Analyze what is my idea, what do I want to do. I want to stop this pawn and promote a pawn for myself, and realize that it works because you can give checks to the king and the king can't come down. All these ideas are very important to improve your endgame, to improve your overall chess skill, improve your elo. So yeah, this is very instructive, and hopefully you can incorporate this into your games. One last very interesting and very cool puzzle I wanted to show you is this one right here. From the evil bar on the left of the screen, you can see that white is at this point completely winning the game by +4 almost. However, in the game, white decided to take the rook on f8, blundering the game away immediately. The point here is that your bishop is scoping the g1 square, so the enemy rook is just completely boxed in. The move to win here is knight g3, which is a brilliant move. The point is, you have to take this, otherwise it's a simple checkmate. And if you do, this king has no squares. And as soon as you take this bishop, rook h6 is a very deadly threat, and there's only one way to stop it for white, which is to play knight e6, and after taking the knight, the only thing you can do to prevent mate is play rook d8, and you have to take the rook with your bishop. So now white has time to escape, and it isn't a checkmate, but definitely winning for black. Just a very cool and sudden change of pace, and victory for black can come all of a sudden. So in chess it's very important to always keep an eye out for tactical ideas like this, and just stay on your tippy toes all the time, and make sure the opponent can't pull on 180 on you and suddenly win the game. Yeah, very cool puzzle. I hope you guys liked it, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.